Jessica Lombardo here with Hops and Highways, and today we are having a very special episode live from Ignite. I'm here with Kevin Garcia, who is the GM for Special Construction at Trimble, and we're going to be talking about how Trimble is working to make technology for paving companies that will not only help you improve efficiencies and profitability, but is also making it approachable for contractors. So Kevin, thank you so much for joining me today. If you guys haven't tuned into Hops and Highways before, we always start by talking about what beer we are drinking. So Kevin, what do you have today?
I have an IPA from Green Barrel, which is a local St. Petersburg, Florida beer.
And I'm drinking Yangling because you cannot get that in Wisconsin, so I'm going to soak it up in Florida. So cheers, Kevin. Cheers. Thank you. Okay, so diving right in, paving contractors are faced with material cost inflation, worker shortages, a solid pipeline of work on top of all of that. So what are some ways that they can navigate through these struggles and find success?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's a big question. I think the easy answer is, you've got to find ways to be more efficient with your work. It's going to drive getting more work done in a shorter amount of time. It's going to drive better ROI or higher margins on the job. But to nail that down, what does that mean, right? Everyone wants to be more efficient. What does that mean? So I think first and foremost becomes equipping your fleet. There are technologies that exist that make the job go better, faster, more efficient. There's grid control. One of the technologies that exploded during COVID, Trimble doesn't sell it, but it's still a key technology, is e-ticketing. So knowing where your trucks are. Paving crews, a lot of people don't know, or have a feel for how expensive it is to pave per hour. An hourly cost of a paving crew, especially concrete paving, is extremely expensive. So every minute you can eliminate of downtime, and that downtime comes in maintenance. So understanding, your KPIs for your fleet. What's my equipment uptime? Paver stops, how do we eliminate those? Is it a trucking problem? Is it a material at the plant problem? Is it a roller problem? I've seen countless jobs where the paver gets into a rhythm, it's paving quite quickly, the trucking sequence is really good. You look back and realize the compactor's too far behind and he's not going to catch up anytime soon, so the paver stops for that. Do you need an additional roller in the fleet? How's your coverage? And it's not as easy as just saying, tell the roller guy to speed up, because your impact spacing will then be off, you won't achieve the appropriate density. So I guess what I'm saying is there's a lot of data you need, and data by itself isn't necessarily valuable. You've got to aggregate that data and find out where is the bottleneck, where's our inefficiency coming from. Is it a plant problem? Is it a trucking problem? Is it a paver problem? Is it a compactor problem? Is it just the conditions of the job site? There's a lot of stuff that can weigh into that. And the more technology, or the more, the buzzword, IoT, but the more things you can implement and data you can collect, the more likely you are to pinpoint what really is the issue. And even in that panel session we had earlier today, someone said something to the tune of, success hides a lot of sins. You can be a highly profitable contractor and think you're doing a really good job and still find out that, man, we're still missing a lot of things because we're good, so we haven't looked. But once you start looking, you find some things.
And that leads me to my next question about connected construction, which was identified as one of the top 5 trends that will help the industry find these new value streams. So you kind of touched on what connected construction is, but can you dive deeper into that, and how does paving kind of fit into connected construction?
When I think of connected construction, the easy answer is having, I want to know the score of the game while it's being played and not after the fact. So paving contractors oftentimes do a debrief at the end of a job, or sometimes if that doesn't work, it's even at the end of the month. And you look at your job cost buckets and what went right, what didn't go right. Okay, let's fix that next time and do better. But knowing that in real time is what connectivity is. So at any given moment, I can log into my platform and I can see where are my machines. And I look at paving superintendents today who, unfortunately, they're swamped, well, good and bad, swamped with work, and they're managing 5 different crews in 5 different locations. You can't be everywhere at one time. So where do I spend my effort? Where's the right crew to go to? Now there's a litany of information you can pull up. You can see each of your crews. You can understand, which pavers are on, which ones are off, what's their productivity thus far on the day. That way I'm not picking up the phone, constantly calling my foreman and my operator saying, what's going on? Do you need me? I'll actually know right away what that means. So that's connectivity, right? Is knowing where are my trucks? What's my plant production? Where's my paver? Is it running or not running? How many linear feet have they done today? What do my compactors look like? What's their pass count coverage? What's my area covered? Is everything running, quote unquote, in the green? And if it's not, you move on. So in the paving space, we think about there's several metrics now that are connected. One is the e-ticketing I talked about a minute ago, where there are technologies today. I can know exactly where every truck is, how many tons are in the back, what is the mix type, when's it going to arrive on site. Am I going to gap out, or do I have enough and a steady flow of materials? Am I over trucking? Am I paying too much for trucking because I'm starting to back them up? Am I under trucked, meaning my paver's stopping and I'm affecting the quality of my surface? That's one. You've got certainly grade control. You can understand, especially 3D. You can get your digital as-built information in near real time as it's coming back in to understand where are the guys on the job site? Are they where you expected them to be at that time of day? Intelligent compaction's been known for a long time. So when you put all of that stuff together, you get a more holistic view of the job site, and then you can kind of decide where is my efforts needed today as the supervisor.
And we talked about it at the session earlier, and it's really identifying those inefficiencies and where you can improve that is going to bring value to the contractors. And we always have a cheers to things that we can really take home value.